Welcome to the Fantasy Football War Council's podcast. Join the gods of war, Jonathan Arneson and Mario and Daniel Gutierrez, as they guide you through the gridiron battlefield. Victory awaits. Let the War Council begin.
Welcome into another meeting of the Fantasy Football War Council. I'm your god of war, Jonathan, and as always, I'm joined by the brothers Grimm, Daniel, and Mario.
The king.
Gentlemen, the king. The king sits here, yes. For only this year, I will say that. Disclaimer. Yes, congratulations again. You know,
Thank you.
you get lots of praise until
Draft.
well,
I always owe it to my running backs.
yeah, dude, yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
The Chuba Hubbard discussion. Yes, that was a low blow, brother. That was a little bro. Yes, it totally was. I know. It's I saw the text the other day. It was totally directed right at me too. So
Hence the heart, I said.
I know. I totally get it because you know what? If I had him, he'd be me sitting there. So it's cool, dude. It's cool. It's cool.
It would be. There's no way I could have beaten the Arnesons without Chuba Hubbard.
Let me tell you,
In week 2, yeah.
I went, yes, I tried to fucking dive, dude, to throw him to the wolves. Just, woo, guys, who wants him? Everyone, oh man, it's the biggest mistake of the season. But that's, here or there. And the plates have been made. They're in. And I gotta say, he was a little thoroughly disappointed with our names. Nothing that made him gasp or... You know what I mean? He actually was extremely disappointed. He said, come up with some better names, guys. So,
Oh.
yeah. And he even went, Smitey Mighty, what the hell is this?
See, that is an ode to my generation, and I'd like to remind you, I'm old as fuck.
And so is he. Don't worry. And so is he. So, anyway, we have lots of news today. It is off season, but not off season. Super Bowl is this weekend, Sunday the 9th.
There's never really an off season.
No, there never is. There isn't. And we have this discussion all the time. Like, we know there is no off season. It's just fun for us. Like, we're redoing our draft because we're adding 4 people to the league, and we thought of something fun. The Daytona 500 is in a few days, but we were testing the Royal Rumble, which was just the other day, which awesome. It really turned out really well. And I would have been okay with that draft order. The 3 of us had really top spots. We did really well picking, by the way.
Good. That's very nice to hear.
Yeah, I lost to Ali for the first spot, and I gotta say it came down to, like, I could not believe that his guy who came in at number 20 was, but it's all Lee. So I'm like, hey,
he's got
rivalry,
a special
man.
phone number or something like that.
I don't know. Yes, we know this. He knows people. He absolutely knows people. He knows the scripts that are in places, and he knows people. So when you work in high places, you rub shoulders with high money, right? Yeah.
He is our financial district sector.
Yes, he's our CFO. He is the CFO of the league, has been. So, anyway, so let's kick off episode 149. Take us away.
Oh, damn. 3 more allegations against Justin Tucker. Oh, it's been sad. It's been sad that it affected his season this season, being all distracted knowing that this was coming down the pipe. And it's just been sad to find out that this is something that's going on and been going on. It just reminds me of the Batman quote: "You either die the hero or live long enough to be the villain."
Solid quote too. Yeah, solid quote. Yeah, toothpaste, solid quote. Gotta give credit. No, man, I gotta say, is it throwing shade to our podcast because we used it as the giveaway, and this
I
is why like we haven't got anybody. Nobody wanted this because they're like, oh, I don't really want a Justin Tucker anymore.
it's our fault,
Ooh.
unfortunately.
Oh man! All right, I promise
I
I
mean,
will do my research and find a good player next time for a giveaway.
everybody needs a
It was
sex
a
towel.
kicker. That's safe.
I and a good kicker. I mean, he's like the
Uh,
GOAT, right? I know. I
And
know.
all his charities are publicized every summer because he's like got so much energy,
Well,
apparently.
apparently, yeah, he's the Deshaun Watson energy he shares. Hey, you know what? If you live long enough, I mean, we know. Let's see. There's been some other rub and tuggers, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
well, the Patriots owner,
oh,
the
Robert
Patriots owner.
Kraft, yeah.
There we go. Thank you,
Yeah.
Kraft. He's nice and old, so you live. Maybe it's a longevity thing. You get extra years. I don't know.
Well, he's been busted a couple of times, not just in the massage parlors, but like straight up prostitutes and stuff.
Yes, yes,
Like Super
yes.
Bowl week in Miami busted,
Yeah, it still has his team. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yep.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, the owners, I mean, there are some winners and there are some losers, that's for sure.
Oh,
It's a
definitely,
big spectrum there.
absolutely. But I guess when you're a winner, you can get away with a lot more. Because if you're a loser, you make a racial slur, and they're like, "Sell this man's team."
Yeah. But Dan Snyder.
Are they that mad when the NFL has made them that much money in that short of an amount of time? I mean, some of
Yeah.
these people came in multimillionaires and became multi-billionaires
Mm.
in a very short time. So,
I remember some of the teams that were sold when we were in high school, and they were a lot lower prices. And you're just like, it's crazy what
yeah.
teams are going for now. And
Yeah, you're like, okay, 70 million. And you're like, how does that equate to a $2 billion thing now? Like,
right,
like
yeah,
the stock market doesn't do that well. I don't care what you're buying. That's
Mm.
guy. So marketing, that's one thing Roger Goodell is good at.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they've changed the game so that it's become one of the most popular sports in the world.
well,
right?
not just him. I don't know why he hates fantasy football. Maybe that's all just a ploy. But fantasy
Mm.
football has really done well. So
Oh, absolutely.
the people who pioneered that's who we should be saluting for making these people tons of money
Oh,
because it's
Fucking A.
so interesting on
billion
so many
dollar
levels.
industry. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but not even that. Like, I think that is where the knowledge of beyond your team, beyond the players. Because if you ask like just a regular Joe Blow fan of their team, they don't know other teams. They won't know other players unless they're huge, huge super fans. You know what I mean? And it's the fantasy players that know. They'll spit out rosters and be like, "Yeah, oh yeah, third string, right? Yeah, I know that guy. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he's
Big,
on my fantasy team though. I I got waivers 2 weeks ago.
He's on my
we're,
dynasty team.
Yeah.
we're gonna have intimate knowledge of those third stringers with this
Oh,
14-man team. So
Yeah.
I
and
mean,
beyond.
14-person team. Sorry,
And
14 person.
14 manager team. 14 manager team. See, I think 12 is perfect, but 14's grumble,
14 is we'll all have a couple stars that will really shine for us brightly, and then everything else is gonna be a dogfight. So
Oh yeah. Well, I'm in a 16, and even that's um, you think
I've
rough,
done a
but
couple 14s before.
yeah, it's
I
gonna be
haven't
fun.
done 16 yet.
Oh no,
Are we still talking about fantasy football, or are we talking about
yeah.
massage parlors again?
Oh
No,
damn.
I don't have that kind of money in my wallet.
No need to pay for it. No need to pay for it, my friend. No need to pay
And I
for
won't
it.
make Justin Tucker's mistake. Put it in for 3? No, thank you.
All right, let's take us away at number 2.
So, speaking of number 2, New York Giants, Malik Neighbors has stated that if the New York Giants are taking a rookie in this year's draft, uh, they better be taking a veteran to coach him along the way because he doesn't want to be catching passes from a nobody.
Oh yeah, because
Mhm.
everybody's hearing they wasted Saquon's prime, they wasted Odell's prime. And he's just
And
like looking
and
at that crystal ball, going, "No,
Oh yeah, he's already like, get me out of this place
Yeah.
now.
and he's
Mister, get me out of here."
he's like, I didn't know the pros would be this hard to stay out of concussion protocol because I'm
Protocol.
catching everything.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have good pass catchers. That's not the problem.
Well,
He's so elite.
no,
He
it's
can
who's
fight for all
throwing
the
the ball.
50-50s,
Yeah.
but just the offensive line was better this
Yes.
year.
Horrendous.
So
It was still
No.
horrendous.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
say
mean,
horrendous. No.
when you're
Horrendous.
ranked like 30 or 32, it's and
That's
then
not
you
good.
End and then you end up being like
28.
27, 28
Yeah,
the year
I think
after.
they
You're
ended at
still
28.
horrendous, even though
Yeah.
there was slight improvement.
Dude, well,
But
here's
you look at Mekhi Becton, right? He left New York after being such a high draft pick, and they were like, he's such a bust. And then they
Yeah.
move him to is he on the Eagles now? Which team is
No.
he on?
Yes, he
Yeah,
is
he's
on
the
he's
Eagles.
he's
and
on
they
the
moved him
Eagles.
to guard, and he's like, getting Pro Bowl nods.
And
Well,
he's-
that isn't hard.
Well, I mean,
he was on a 1-year
he
deal.
played very well.
Yes, no, you're not wrong. He did a lot better, especially at guard. But
Yeah.
I was making a jab at the Pro Bowl because I wanted to make some fucking jabs at how
Oh,
bad
jeez.
they have ruined my game that I loved watching. And I don't even watch the Pro Bowls. It's like you in Kansas City. I'm like, I'm not even turning on Pro Bowl weekend anymore. It's such a joke.
I mean, I just want to see them do their skills, like
Yeah.
the target
Yes,
practice,
all week long.
the,
all week
the
long.
distance. Like, let's see what these freaking gods among men can do with their bodies and their skills, and just marvel at that for a weekend.
You
And
will have the top people show up for it. They will go. There's no need to play a
That's-
game anymore.
no,
Mhm.
no one needs to get hit.
Nope.
So like when it comes to the offensive and defensive linemen, what are they going to do without hitting people? Freaking strongmen competition, because that's what they
Yeah.
are, right?
Yep.
And it's so simple. Do Scottish games with those guys,
Yeah.
because
The log. Oh,
Dude,
some log
right?
throws. I was thinking like arm wrestling, but you don't want anybody getting like torn pecs or something. But like, I would do some arm wrestling. I'd see some arm wrestling between those big boys. God, that would be really good.
Just need to fix up
Seriously.
the biggest rock,
Dude.
like-
Right. This is what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Be creative, go out, get some cultural stuff out there where you're like, what's the funniest shit we can have these humongous, strong, incredibly fast people doing? And boom, put them out there and change it up every year and have cool little things to. Of course, the quarterbacks are going to be target and distance and power and like what can they do with placement. But with the other guys, man, like, can you catch this? Can you catch that for the receivers? Or guard this? Be a freaking against the professional soccer players. Have a cornerback be a goalie and see how many they can stop. Right? Like, just have fun with it.
Yeah.
And the Pro Bowl's lost its fun.
In my head, I'm sorry. If you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball. So
that goes back to the thing where like the Olympics are on and people are like, we don't understand at the level of which these people are performing.
Yeah.
So like in the bottom corner, they should just have like a regular person running the 100-yard dash.
yeah, as a,
Or in the
you need
pool
to see how
playing,
good
and
they are.
Yeah, slap a snowboard on some dude and be like, "Good luck,
Dude,
sucker!"
That's why Rich
that would
Eisen
He's
be
is
still on the
awesome.
mountain. Yes, I love watching the Rich Eisen 40
Rich
every
Eisen
year.
is the man for doing that.
Yep, solid. Yep. And he's had a steady improve in his
Yeah.
40 time. He is working on it, but this dude gets custom shoes made every year for it, and I don't even want to talk. That's just cheating. So,
He goes to coaching for his launch and stuff against
hmm
it. I remember
hmm
the first year he was sub 6. He was like,
and
yes.
those are custom suits. I get it's a
Yeah.
suit, but those are custom suits. It can be stretchy. They're nice. So,
Yeah.
yeah. We're so off track. Oh my
Why not?
goodness. All right. Number 3. I'm surprised you gave me this. Mason Crosby. Wow, retired as a Packers all-time point scorer, 17 seasons. Whew, Mason Crosby.
I just wanted to make sure Chas heard that when you were shouting it out.
Oh, hey, I mean, Packer. It's a good Packer, man. I don't know.
He is.
What do you
Did,
want?
did his leg. And
Yep.
so Micah Hyde also retires after 12 years. So Buffalo secondary, dude. I mean, this is a good draft for line. Secondary,
Not so
you've got
much.
you've got 5 solid names, and with the way the QBs are rated and the way the wide receivers are rated, those might all go up in the first round. All
Mm-hmm.
5 of the really solid ones. So, but you got 2 or 3 safeties among those. The
Mhm.
cornerbacks are, you got, once again, some solid, but we'll see what Travis Hunter does.
Mm.
Do you think he's going to be corner or receiver? Or do you think they're going to try to play him both ways? I
I,
think,
I,
I think,
It's a. Mm.
yeah.
Okay.
I think you
Mm.
draft him as a corner because he's a better corner, even though he's still a really good wide receiver.
he's a really good wide receiver, but
And
he is
you
a
let
better
him
Mm.
corner.
then you acclimate him into the NFL as a corner, and you put him in receiver packages here and there,
Yeah,
and then you see how it goes. And if he
but
ends up being able to play both ways, great. But if not, just at least let him learn a position, one single position at a pro. If you give him too much in the beginning, you might just ruin him.
You're
oh,
overwhelming. Mm.
yeah. So you're saying his first season almost exclusively corner?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with a couple. He's on the field for the 3 slot package.
Exactly.
He's the third guy on the field if they do a 3 wide receiver or even a 4.
With
I do enjoy a good
different
3 slot
packages.
package.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to draft him because when they go to the draft, they call out the position that they're expected to play, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder if whoever drafts him are just going to draft football player Travis Hunter or
Oh no, I expect
corner
one
or
position. Yeah.
receiver. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I expect one position. Whoever does it, they're going to pick him up for that one position that they're picking him up for. That I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Uh,
Ooh,
oh well, this is
Danny,
the
take it
T
away.
Higgins versus Trey Henderson conversation. The Bengals are coming out and saying, "Look, we can't have the top paid player at every position that we've got going a star." So it kind of sounds like since Trey Henderson's a free agent, he's going to get the axe, and then they're going to pay T Higgins basically the salary that they would have given Trey Hendrickson. Offense puts fans in the stands, unfortunately, but
Oh yeah.
again, where would Trey go? Go help a other team.
Mm,
I
Dude.
can unfortunately see like Las Vegas would be a good spot for him since
that's
Purdy's
a good
already there.
fit.
It'd be a great
I
I
fit,
would.
hate
especially since if they drop him, he's gonna have a fire under his ass, and next to Crosby, that'd be great.
come to
I.
Tampa, come to
Uh,
Tampa.
Tampa would be nice. I
Yeah,
had thought.
but
My first
Yeah,
thought was maybe Dallas. I mean.
dude,
Mm,
Tampa just doesn't have the purse for it.
no, we
But
don't. No, you don't.
I mean, but why wouldn't you want to compete with a team that? I mean, well, I switched to Tampa for a reason, right?
Mhm.
We are in contention to Super Bowl every single year because we have such a solid team because we're groomed so well. But just really, really smart leadership and that goes all the way down to the blades of grass on our field. That is just what a well-made team.
Listen, it's already in his blood. I love it.
I know.
I
The
love it.
the
Oh.
the love for Tampa or the alcohol? I don't know which.
No, I love Tampa.
I love
No, the love for Tampa. I love it.
Dude.
It's just Jacksonville in the rear view mirror. It's awesome.
I've hit reverse a couple times.
Oh, bro.
Um,
Bucks D-line coach Casey Rogers hired as Detroit's new D-line coach, replacing Terrell Williams, who went with Vrabel to the Patriots to be the DC there. Thoughts?
Bummer.
Yeah, me too.
yeah, it is.
I'm not a.
You know what though?
We just
I'm-
hired somebody for that though too.
I'm
I thought it was so-
this isn't the worst thing, but it's not. I mean, we got such a good team. You don't want to change much.
Yeah, I get it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Just hurts to lose, right?
yeah, it does. Dennis Allen is hired as Ben Johnson's new defensive coordinator, and I love this pick.
Mhm.
Dennis Allen is just too much of an asshole to be a head coach, but those type of hard-nosed grit people make fantastic defensive coordinators and really push the defense to their limits. And I think he's going to be phenomenal there. I think Ben Johnson, over Thanksgiving dinner last year was doing great work putting this team together.
Well, I'm liking everything that Chicago's doing. Got to be completely honest.
Well, yeah, he's been working on it since Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
No
Well,
tampering rules for coaches, baby.
Yeah,
mm,
and you know what? Dan Campbell really believes in all his people, so he really gives them all the leash he can to better themselves. And so Ben Johnson's been doing all the upper management work from the OC seat for a while now. So if he doesn't put a good team together, you really got to worry because he's had more time than almost any other coach ever has to put a group together.
not an art blip of news. He brought in an O-line coach, Dan Roshar. Yeah. So, who is touted as one of the best offensive line coaches. So,
Nice.
yeah.
All right. Brian Schottenheimer is Dallas's new head coach, and he immediately brought in Eberflus as his defensive coordinator. I think that's a good move.
I thought that
I like
was
Eberflus as a DC.
as a
I did not
defensive
like him
coordinator. I think he's
as
brilliant.
A head coach, but as a DC,
Yeah, I think
You're
he's
right.
Dennis
had
Allen
this-
equivalent.
We've had no. We've had this talk that people do not make good head coaches. They fit as coordinators. I've just had such a disdain for this man as a head coach that I don't want to see him as a coordinator anywhere either.
I actually think he was a better head coach than Dennis Allen was.
You're probably not wrong on that.
And both are fantastic defensive coordinators, and there is a ceiling there which they should not cross.
Yeah.
So that's
Yep.
it.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Who? Me?
Oh,
Me?
Mario keeps going
who's that?
out of turns.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to stay up in order, but I can't.
I'm
I
just
can't
like,
keep up.
I'm just jumping in. Go.
All right. Go ahead. No, go ahead. You need one.
Okay.
You need-
Texans hire
It's fine.
Rams assistant
That was meant for your
Coach
brother.
Nick Caley as their new offensive coordinator. Nick Caley was sought after by several teams, and so this was huge for them. And I applaud them for getting rid of Slowick because uh, there's not a single media group that was not stating the obvious that why is Slowick running on every single first down. Every single coach out there watches all your film and knows exactly what you're going to do.
Hmm.
You don't even try throwing it once, and most of your second downs as well. Uh, Dude, you have
Not
this
even.
QB and you're hamstringing him,
Mm,
and it just didn't make any sense. So for that to happen for an entire season, um, with no great changes, yeah, I applaud. Look, Dan Campbell didn't pick the first offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator right either when he was rebuilding Detroit. So for this, cut your losses as soon as you can, replace them with something better, keep building. So
I wonder how
sol-
much of that
soldier
was
on.
like, we paid Joe Mixon. You better give him the ball.
and
I
yeah,
hope not.
You know,
could
there's
be.
that
Yeah,
possibility too.
absolutely could be.
So,
All right, Danny, take us. You need one.
Steve Wilkes is the new Jets defensive coordinator. Darren Mahogany is the Jets' new GM. Don't know who that one is. Interesting.
No, I'm laughing at some of their moves. So,
So
No,
Wilkes
it's like
Wilkes was the one that
I know who Wilkes is. I don't know who
yeah,
Darren is.
I
oh
don't know. No, I didn't know Darren. I knew
Darren
Wilkes.
Moogie. Let me pull him up again real
Mookie.
quick.
Mookie. That's a fun one. It's like they're competing to see which team in New York could be worse.
That's
They're
what I'm thinking, honestly.
they're in the tankathon for the 2026 quarterback class. You know,
Everybody wants Arch already, right? It's just,
well, anybody they just want to get up to the top 10 at that point. But yeah,
yeah, yeah,
for sure.
yeah. All right, while we wait for Mario to look this up, Jags hire Anthony Campini as their DC, Tony Bosile as their new GM.
They're going all
Hire.
Italian.
Yeah, right. That's all right. Yeah.
Robert Sala is officially back with the 49ers as their DC. Oh, I didn't
Not
see
a
whether that was
shocker.
official or not.
Yeah, not
It
a
is
shocker.
now,
Pretty
yeah.
sure it was going to happen, but
Yeah. And well, he said, I'm only gonna do I will only DC, or I only want to go back to the 49ers, and he had some stipulation of what the hell he was doing, so yeah. All right, he's still looking away. So Atlanta Falcons hired Jeff Ulbrich as their DC. We're just gonna keep skipping you since you've been
yeah,
skipping. You've been
That's
skipping
fine.
us.
That's fine.
yep. Lou Anarumo is the Colts' new DC.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that last week. That happened a week or so ago, and I wanted to mention it in the last podcast, and I totally, we were just running out of time. So, I don't know what he just wrote Tennessee Titans, so I'm going to skip that and go into the Chicago Bears. Bring in Eric Bieniemy back to the NFL as their RB coach, which I think solid. Bring him, knock him down to where he needs to be. He is a bad head coach, but hey, solid coordinator and position coach. So
Okay, and then I do have uh,
hey,
so
welcome back.
so Darren Moogie. Why this is important is because it shows a big signal in the league to go away from the Shanahan system
Mm-hmm.
and uh, enveloping the Sean Payton system instead. So
Hmm.
a lot of the Sean Payton disciples are now the big names in football. And so when you look at philosophies in the NFL and what's actually changing with the run first, with the Lions and other groups, it's not actually the Sean McVay system. It's actually an ode
Oh.
to Sean Payton. And so uh, Moogie, he's been in Denver since 2012. And so he went through everything that was before, through the transition, was with Sean Payton during that takeover, and so now he's bringing the ideas of that entire transition and how they turned everything around so quickly to the Jets.
Okay. Interesting.
You want to take away the Tennessee Titans now one?
Yeah, you need some.
That's their general manager got hired as well, and the fact that uh, i that was such an ugly situation because the owner picked the GM over the coach, and then fired the GM the following year because uh, lack of work ethic is what was cited.
Do you think he was writing love letters to Vrabel after he realized he made a mistake?
No,
Baby, come
so
back.
Vrabel was putting in
You
too
know he
much
was.
information onto how he wanted to build his team. And Rand Carthon was like, "That's my job. You shouldn't be telling me my job." And then this whole year, they kept going into his office and apparently kept finding him napping. And they were like, "Dude, Vrabel lived, breathed, and died football. And he was trying to tell us all these things, and he kept us at a certain level, and our team is doing shit right now after you said it would be a good idea to replace him." So their ownership, without very much, not the most amount of patience, um, got rid of him,
Hmm.
and instead moved up the one of the people who was on Vrabel's shortlist, but Vrabel actually brought over the guy he liked best that he thought should have been GM. So good on Vrabel, and we'll see how
Cannot
much
sleep on
longer
the
the
job.
Tennessee tank.
Oh yeah, well, tank for Arch. It's going right. Yeah.
Dude, they might. They
Mm.
might.
All right. Daniel.
Sure.
Okay.
Raiders have brought on Chip Kelly to be their new play caller slash OC. Are they bringing Ohio State back together? QB Will Howard, RB Quentin Judkins, and wide receiver Emike Egabuka.
A
Nailed
lot of
it.
people. Lot of people
They,
like Will Howard better than Shadur Sanders.
yeah, because he's more of a standard, and they don't know what they're going to get with Shador, especially
Right.
since Shador
Hmm.
hasn't been away from his dad in his entire
Mm.
college career. So they
Yeah,
don't know what they're going to get with him.
Exactly.
But
and
they
they're not
also hired,
hiring Dion, right? So,
yeah, they also
It,
hired
it,
Pete
it is a red
Carroll's
flag.
son,
oh,
Brendan Carroll, as their new offensive line coach. Patrick Graham says that the Raiders stays as the Raiders DC, which was a cool move.
Yeah, I like that move by them. Go
Brendan
ahead on this
Carroll.
next one,
That's
John.
funny.
Keelan Moore has stated he will not take the Saints head coaching job with Derek Carr as the head coach. And I did read this
Are you
today. As the
kidding?
quarterback. Yeah. He was saying he is gone. I will
Talk to me
Shots
not.
after the
fired.
draft. He said, "Talk to me after the draft and free agency. Let's see what you do." Dang.
Well, I mean,
The
hey,
Saints burned so many bridges when they were like, "It's okay, we got our guy. We're waiting for Kellen Moore," and then Kellen Moore sends this back, and they're like,
It's gonna be the owner on the sidelines. Come on, guys.
"Yeah,
They haven't hired anybody. They're gonna just go down to the high school. They're gonna cycle through New Orleans high school coaches. It's your turn this week. Let's see what happens.
they'll bring in some like Division
dude."
3 college coach that
But what I
had a
was
decent
saying,
season.
what I was saying though is Derek Carr started playing real bad after Vegas did him wrong, and if they bring him back and he's properly motivated, with the coach and the GM gone who got rid of him, he might be able to put a couple good years in there to establish while you have a rookie behind him.
When did Derek Carr play good? I gotta ask this, just for
Dude,
everyone.
he's their all-time best quarterback.
I'm only joking, man. I'm just joking. Come on.
Yeah, he's
He's
a
he's
decent
better
quarter.
than he's better than his brother.
He's no David Carr. No, David
No,
Carr
he's
was
better than his
better.
brother. Hey, David just had what, like 17 different head coach and coordinators, and you can't keep up with any system and learn anything.
David Carr was a far better prospect.
And,
But when you take someone out to the woodshed and beat them like that,
Yeah.
all you have is a pinata.
mhm.
His career was pretty much over the first game when he had like 6 concussions. I mean, the poor guy was just running for his life the whole time, but he still is more accurate than Derek is.
Mm,
Yeah.
I agree. That's why I was cracking a joke, but I don't know. Mario is gonna pull up some fucking stats to make me look like an idiot, so I want to move on.
Before he does a quick move.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy reading this one on number 19, John.
I just read the last one. Are you gonna give me 2 in a row? Who wants
Yes,
to go?
sir.
Yeah,
Oh.
go for it.
Yeah, you guys just won Miles Garrett. I get what it is.
Well,
The
we'll
NFL
work
is
through that one together.
the
We'll work through that one
NFL
together.
is having a harder time filling seats this Super Bowl. Well, no one wants to watch Kansas City. Let's be fucking honest. But prices have dropped from $6,492 down to $4,029 for the cheapest seats, and 21,500 and 56,500 for the most expensive seats. Good Lord.
Less
Do they
than
take
half. It's
first-born children?
dropping over $30,000 for the most expensive tickets. It's a huge loss in revenue that they were expecting.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see Kansas City and the Eagles again. Let's
Or
just
no-
say, I mean,
Or no one can afford it in this economy.
well, who the fuck can afford it? Like, let's be honest. We talked about this for like years ago. Like, the cheapest seats were like $5,000, and it's like, who can go to that? Like, I'd have to give my left kidney, my left testicle, and my first child to go to this thing, and still owe them $3,000. You know?
Yep. I mean, it sucks that the players have to pay these prices too.
Yeah, that's rough. Because
That's the
they're
thing that I'm like,
you
that-
want your family to see you in the
that's
Super
tough.
Bowl, but not everybody's making, over $1 million. So
Oh yeah, and not everybody can afford the suites, and how
No,
many
like,
times will we see Taylor Swift in her suite? Who will be next to Taylor Swift? Mm.
all right. Miles
Go ahead.
Garrett has requested a trade from the Browns. Daniel, read A.
I like this. We're gonna split this up, huh?
Mario's the news czar. All right. 2025 base salary of 1.255 million. $18.5 million roster bonus in March equates to negative 5 million.
No,
No, it's a $5
million
million.
cap
Yeah.
hit. I was like,
that's
how is
that's
that
a,
negative? He's
approximately.
paying
It's
them?
approximately.
Oh, okay.
It's a
I see
squiggly.
it's wavy. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
getting older. It's hard to see the detail nowadays. Hence the $5 million cap hit. That's it. That's not so bad.
That's
I think
why the
affordable.
Browns are pissed, because they front loaded his contract, and it's actually going to cost them a ton. So I'll read.
The Browns are the best at making contracts, aren't they?
Oh,
Dude.
absolutely. I think
Okay,
they have the best quarterback one right now. The best.
The best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Read
All
B. Read
In-
B. R.
In
Czar.
2026, base salary of 1.3, so a little bit more than 2025. 19 million in a roster bonus over 5 years. Somehow that equates to only 11 million in salary cap hit. Yeah,
Well, you're good at shuffling the monies around. That's all it is. And then
it's just how.
in 2026, he is. It says no guaranteed money left. 2026 owed. He'd be owed the remainder 9 million.
Yeah, because they said it was supposed to be like $25 million, and they split it over the 3 years instead to try to front load his contract. And yeah, so whoever gets Myles Garrett, they say it would be super cheap for them. However, already down the line, they say Nick Bosa is currently making $34 million per year. To do what? I don't know. I haven't seen him on the Defensive Player of the Year in quite some. I don't know what he does. Do you know what
1
position
year.
he plays in
He
San
came off of the
Francisco?
defensive player of the
Yeah,
year last
the
I
year.
free
1
agency,
year.
and yeah, he plays the free agency in our dynasty. I know that. So
Talk about
yeah,
recency bias.
yeah. And so Myles Garrett, when he goes to a new team, they're expecting to have to pay that 34 to 35 million a year.
mm,
Um, and so that shortens the list of who can afford him.
absolutely.
But uh,
I mean,
I
the
mean, when
pitch is, hey man, so you want a Super Bowl?
yeah,
That means you made your money.
yeah,
So
Wanna take a pay cut
gotta
already?
take a pay cut in order to
Mm.
afford a Super Bowl roster.
You're up
So
here.
yeah,
We need you down
down
here.
here, yeah.
And if you
But
really
then
want it, like down here is even
yeah,
better.
but then you get some of these.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
If that's the
yeah.
case, I mean, if
Tom Brady showing 6
if
of his
he's
rings.
going for a Super Bowl like he says,
Where's
yeah,
the seventh? Is this cock ring?
that's right. The shirt that he was wearing,
uh,
Jiu-Jitsu ruined my life.
You gotta hold one back.
oh, jeez.
But
I hope it's
I
not the
mean,
Buccaneer ring.
that would be part
Of
of the
course, that
negotiation.
one's on the pedestal because he's like, I left Belichick and got this one.
Hell yeah.
Of
Oh
course,
yeah.
that one's on its own, in a case no one touches.
I
Or
did that
or
one on my
or
own.
that one's sized for what John was talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I did this one on my own.
Yeah.
Slip on.
That's right. It's even got a snuff container on the top for it too.
There's a pump bottle next to it. Boop, boop. All right, Cleveland would be stuck with 36 million cap hit in 2025 if he is traded.
Stick 'em.
Stick 'em. They're so good at making these contracts, right? Like,
Yeah, so much so that their cap currently stands at 30.17 million in the hole for next year.
yeah. So they can totally keep him. They have to. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, he's gone. He's gone, and they're not going to get what they want for him, right?
Because he wants to leave and has shown this, they're not going to get as much as they hope, but they could get
Mm-mm.
2 firsts. They could get 2
You
firsts.
really think two?
They
I
could.
thought like one
Or
and maybe a three, or like a
one.
three and a
It's
six and something.
it's going to be 1 and a player, or it's
Oh,
going to be 1 and 2 seconds, or 2 firsts. I think.
ooh, all right.
Pretty
I'm
interesting.
curious. Yeah, I'm curious. Okay.
Or
Daniel, take us
or
away with our final news
it's
blurb.
gonna be like a second and a fourth, but that team's gonna absorb all of the contractual obligations.
So, an interesting thing about Cleveland is that they took insurance out on Deshaun Watson, and so they took injury insurance out on him. And
Yeah.
so last year when he got injured, they're going to get $50 million in a payment So what happens is the insurance pays Deshaun Watson, and it doesn't come out of their cap. So then the NFL gives them a check for 50 million, and that cap rolls over to the following year.
Mhm.
Next year, due to their the whole Instagram, him posting photos and everything like that, if that's proven, they'll get a $70 million check at the end of 2025 to apply toward 2026. So
It just
their
proves
cap is better
there's some
than
Browns
what it looks
intern that's sneaking in the middle of the night and
like.
cracking him in the knee with a baseball bat, something like that.
I, I think it would be the head dude just coming in and saying, "Hey, look, we need to have a talk. You're gonna stay injured."
Dude, they found him a way to pay him without paying him. They're paying him without paying him,
Hmm.
and so they're paying him outside of the salary cap, and so for all we know, all these injuries could be fake.
That's what
And
I think. Yeah.
you pay the doctor 1 million of the 50 million.
So you're saying that the Browns are committing insurance fraud right now and that should be investigated?
I mean,
I am
it's kind of like a
uh
team buying a hotel room for a
I am
man to
saying
do.
it's not outside the realm of possibility.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yes. Signing these waivers. Sign this waiver. We can't talk about this.
Oh, Deshaun's very good at the waivers.
Hey.
He was dancing without a boot, and then all of a sudden he says he's injured, and there's all this stuff that, it adds up to hopefully we never have to see him play again.
I
That's
mean,
all. That's all.
dance is a physical sport.
Yeah.
Plantar fasciitis. Oh,
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
All
All
right.
right.
All right.
Take us away with our final news blurb.
we're just ranting at this point. We're punch drunk.
Totally are. We totally are. Yeah.
John, you go ahead and read this one. Lead us
All
off.
right, fine. I like it. Cooper Cup has been told that he will be traded this offseason. He comes with a $20 million cap hit in 2025 and a $19.5 million in 2026. And rumors be flying already.
Yeah. Yeah. So I really thought he'd be great for the Detroit Lions for their run game, and
Mm-hmm.
he'd take up the Josh Reynolds / Tim Patrick role, because really at this stage in the game, there are few better blockers than him outside of the 49ers roster. Um, and so being a receiver out in the field who can catch last minute passes to save the quarterback, but can also lay out defensive men, Cooper Cup is awesome. But the rumors today said that Denver is highly pursuing him to benefit their run game because they were really disappointed in the run game this year.
And they've
I
got cap
mean,
space, so.
we were all disappointed in their run game this year. Let's be honest. But yes,
Yeah,
they
any
do have the
fantasy
potential.
manager was
Yeah.
for sure. So yeah, they're highly pursuing him to because they actually took they dropped Tim Patrick and brought over Josh Reynolds. It was a
Mhm.
swap almost, and
I know.
that's what they're looking for. Someone in the middle of the field to kind of lay low defenders or catch a pass that'll help the QB, and
Mm,
that's a hell of a position. And there are few that are that great at it, and Cooper Cup still is elite at that.
absolutely. And there's even players that are trying to make their push come play
Pitching.
for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Neighbors making his push come play for us. Him and Stafford. So
Yeah, so that's the other thing is Stafford might be open on the trading block soon as well. And so I was totally thinking that the Rams might make Cooper Cup, Stafford, for Miles Garrett. Stafford on a 2-year deal. Very not even first-round picks traded. And I think the Rams would eat their medicine this year, and with Stafford in charge of all the first round picks over there in Cleveland, and Cooper Cup there helping with chemistry, I think that would
Mm-hmm.
be a really, really good trade for both sides.
Interesting.
What's the replacement plan for Stafford in LA?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know what? I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it because there's all kinds of things. So, uh, there's Kirk Cousins. I think didn't have nearly as much time as Rodgers did to heal, and he got hit in the elbow that really messed him up in the end half of the season, and so that was something that a lot of people didn't pick up on. But now, with him being fully healthy and his Achilles being healthy, uh, Cousins is a really, really serviceable veteran to have in. And at this point in his career and how he looked last year, I don't think his pride would be so high that you couldn't tell him, look, next year we're getting a rookie to train under you, and you've got the job for as long as you can keep it, and working out a deal with him that way. And
Solid
so,
question, Daniel.
yeah.
I gotta say, but coming with these, Daniel and Mario with these like 3-minute question answers. So.
Yeah. Seeing that clock tick.
Right.
Oh
Oh yeah,
yeah.
we're already at 51. So, all right, let's close it up for the evening. Super Bowl predictions: Chiefs, Eagles. What do you got? Quick, fire.
Chiefs.
I mean, yeah, we think that's the NFL's pushing for the three-peat, right? We all want the Eagles, but Chiefs are going to do it. So,
Eagles.
yeah, well, man of
I'm
just
just gonna
hope.
call it. I'm following
Man
my
of hope.
heart.
Yeah,
If
Saquon.
if the Eagles win, Saquon MVP.
Oh, I want to see running back as an MVP, and I want to see Saquon do it. Yeah,
I
I like it.
want to see that. I think the
Yeah,
Chiefs are going to pull it off.
I'm with you. I completely want to see it. I want to see Saquon get MVP. I'm down for the Eagles to get another one.
Hey, the NFC East has played spoiler twice in possible historic Super Bowls to this point, i.e., the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And Carson Wentz is the backup to Patrick Mahomes right now, and this would be the second time
He
he'd
cannot have
see
a
a
Super Bowl.
different Philadelphia quarterback hoist the Lombardi in front of him.
Mm,
Nice.
that's
Well, that means
dirty.
that technically, though, if Philly wins, they should build Carson Wentz a statue. Because every Super Bowl that he played in, Philadelphia has won a Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Wow, wow. That's a dirty statue too. That's a fuck you statue,
That's
pretty
the one
much.
you rub for good luck. That's
That's
Yeah.
a
yeah.
redheaded a
You give
redheaded
that one a
statue. It's
big
got no
dick.
soul, but
Yeah.
Yeah, you give that one a big dick. All right. Well, at this point, thank you all mortals for staying tuned to at this point. Tune in next week, see who wins the Super Bowl, or I mean, you're gonna watch it yourself, but like we'll talk about it here, and then
yeah.
continue our news blurbs because we have lots of news, free agency, the
Rookies, all kinds of stuff.
combine.
Yeah.
We still got all kind. Yeah, we still got all kinds of college stuff going on, and lots and lots and lots of stuff.
Free
So,
agency.
yeah,
Draft strategy,
Why
restructuring
did
of a
teams
league.
not make it as far as you thought they would? All that.
all of our judgments. Yes, yes, the fun stuff. That's what the off season's for. So, thanks for marching with us, and as always,
Keep conquering.
March on.
Marshawn?
March on.
Oh, that's
Marshawn's awesome too, though.
Yeah.
that's.
Where's the
Oh
drop?
no,
We
no!
were
It's
so
our
gonna
old
get
one.
by.
It's our old one. It's our old one. I messed up. It's our old exit. No,
We made it this far.
no, I
I'm just here so we don't get fined.
no. That's the one I can't have. I can't have this
I
one.
know.
Stop. Stop. Okay.
Unplug it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fuck. It's bold. It's bold. It's bold. It's bold. Okay. I'm just gonna end it. Who cares? Sorry, guys. No.
It's gonna be American football. Fuck yeah.